Should you call you off a wedding because your blood group, not your genotype, is incompatible? That's what we're talking about in this video. Hi guys, my name is Ada. I'm a doctor living and practicing in Nigeria, and I was going through the streets of X, aka Twitter, and I saw this message that is apparently a real life story, and I'm just going to read it for us, and then we can go ahead and talk about it. My fiance called off our engagement because he did his blood group test and found out he was B positive and I'm O negative. He said we were not compatible, and I told him it's not serious like genotype, and I will be injected Rogam during my first pregnancy. But he said he's not sure. His fears are not unfounded. I actually made a video about the tests you should do before you get married, and part of what I said you should do is blood group. So I'm going to link up that video at the end of this video so that you can just go ahead and watch it and know and catch up. But I feel like as doctors, we talk about genotype a lot and we don't really talk about blood group. So people are in the dark and things like this happen. Even though this is a sneaking suspicion I have that this person has been looking for how to break up this engagement and this is just an excuse, but I don't know them. So maybe that's not the situation. Maybe I'm wrong. So, what makes them incompatible, first of all, is the fact that she is negative and he is positive. Of course, we're talking about in the place of marriage. We're not talking about blood transfusion here. So, I'll probably do a video on blood transfusion later. So, subscribe so that you don't miss that, where I'll be explaining who can give whom blood. First of all, let's explain what blood group is and the different types of blood group. You can be either positive or negative, but attached to that positive or negative, you can be A, you can be B, you can be AB, you can be O. So are these random alphabets? No. So I'm going to explain how this came about. A, AB, B are antigens. Antigens are like proteins that are found around our cells, and that's the way the body recognizes ourselves. Let me just leave it that way. This is like a very raw explanation, but just follow me, just understand me. So if I am A, I would have antibodies against B because B is not my type. If I am B, I would have antibodies against A. If I am AB, I will not have any antibodies. If I am O, I would have antibodies against A and B. The part we're focusing on today is the negative and the positive. When I do the video on blood transfusion, I'll probably dive more into the A and the B and all of that. But I just decided that it's good for us to talk about it because usually when they give you your blood group, they don't just say positive or negative. They say B negative or O positive or something like that. So I wanted you to understand that as well. So now coming to the positive and negative, that is what we call that's the Rhesus D factor. So you either have it or you don't have it. So if you have it, you're positive. If you don't have it, you're negative. I hope we get that. So if you are positive, it means you have the Rhesus D factor. So you will not have antibodies against it. If you are negative, it means you don't have the Rhesus D factor. And if by any chance you come across the Rhesus D factor, whether by blood transfusion or you were pregnant with a baby that had positive, whether you carry that baby to term or you miscarried that baby, it doesn't matter. If a baby that you have carried before is positive, your body will sense it and it will acquire antibodies as a way to protect you because it's like, this thing that we're seeing, this factor we're seeing, we don't know it before, we should fight against it. So what now happens to a woman that is O positive and she has negative? Remember that if you are positive, you can't have antibodies, so she's fine. So that's why I said the problem is when the woman is negative, which is the scenario that we have here. Now, if she's negative and she has never come in contact with O positive blood, with positive blood, doesn't matter whether it's O or B or whatever, she has never come in contact with positive blood, she will not have any antibodies because her body has not been sensitized. So now in this situation, now what this man is worried about is the fact that if she has come in contact with any positive in any way, that is that Rhesus D factor, she would have antibodies. And since he is positive and she's negative, if they get pregnant and the baby is positive, the mother's body will fight the baby and she will miscarry. So does that mean that any woman that is negative should not marry a positive man? No, there's actually a solution for that. If you have a negative woman and she takes in, she will get Rogam at the end of the pregnancy. whether the pregnancy is carried to term or it is not carried to term. So what is ROGAM? ROGAM are like antibodies on their own. So what they do is that if the woman is negative, the baby is positive, and the woman's body builds up antibodies. Before those antibodies mature, those soldiers mature, that ROGAM wipes off those antibodies that she has. So the woman is fine. So this his thing, he's overreacting. Yeah, he is. He's overreacting. He probably should have sat down with a doctor and had this thing explained to them. So yes, it's important to check so that once you get pregnant, you get your ROGAM. Whether I say it again because I know what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter whether you did miscarriage or whether the baby was 10 weeks, 5 weeks. If you get pregnant, you have to get ROGAM at the end of that pregnancy. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned a thing or two, please let me know in the comment section. Like this video, share it with other people so that they will learn as well. If you've not subscribed, Kini, what are you waiting for? Subscribe so that you will join the family, and we learn a lot here. I believe. I think I put out a lot of knowledge, and I think I do it in a way that is easily understandable. I think so. So all right, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.